Sitaram, Jai Shri Krishna, Om Shri Ganeshaya Nama, Madhavaya Nama, Keshawaya Nama, Narayanaye Nama, Om Har Har Mahadev, Shiva Shankara Shambhu, Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karvavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi. Devotees, brothers and sisters, fellow travelers on this beautiful Dharti Mata of ours. It's always a blessing. It's always joy. It's always being in a happy state of mind to sit down with each and every one of you on a Friday evening. This is our 19th session. You know, initially when we started, the decision was to do strictly for 7 sessions, but I don't have any control over this. I just follow the blessings of that Supreme Lord who inspires us to meet on this Friday evening. And we're hoping that in this 1 hour, it can bring changes to your life. The changes which it would bring to your life should not be ginormous change. That is why we do it in terms of a 1 hour session at 7 days interval. And why this is so important? Because we are talking about something that needs to be built on very strong foundation, that you must see the changes in your life on every day that you're part of this journey with us. And so that is why we have as today's topic what we call morning mantras. And the morning time is critical in terms of how we want the day or how your day should go forward. In today's world, there's a big move in what we call in the psychological area, in the psychology area, in terms of, you know, waking up in the morning, doing your yoga, doing your meditation. But if they are just rituals, they will not benefit you. So what we will do today is some very nice mantras that we started next week. They're called morning mantras or Prabhatam mantras. So Prabhatam, which means morning mantras that are designed to make your day really, really happy and successful. So we start by saying today is a new day and your heart or my heart is open. We did not say what it's open to. But the secret is that you must have an open heart, which means you must have a divine, what we call feeling, that which means is that whatever situation comes in front of you by virtue of what you have done in the morning, you have prepared yourself for that situation to only bring all forms of happiness to you. We have got many, many words, Sanskrit words that are very powerful. And somehow we go through our life without taking the benefit of these words. And if one today, before we start our mantra, if we can take note of this beautiful mantra, it's a word, but it's also a mantra. And what it means is that, one moment, right. What it means is that aham means I. And the question is, well, if it means I, so what? But not any I. Aham, when spoken, with energy means I am part of that universal I. So aham, this word aham is normally what we call joined with, yeah, aham brahm ahasi, or aham brahmasi, which means I and the supreme creator or the supreme lord, yeah, are part and parcel of the same divine energy. All of the great philosophies of this world, whether it's Buddhism and the other Abrahamic religion, has this one common principle, that I and my Lord are one. I and Bhagwan Shri Krishna are one. I am the supreme Brahman, or the unseen creator. I have this same energy as him. So therefore, the question is knowing that I am aham. Aham. I am part of this energy that is around us, means that you are a special person. So when we are focusing on aham, you are not identifying with the meat and the flesh and the skin that surrounds the aham. Because this body, or the hands that, and the hair on the head, or lack of hair on the head, or anything, is no different from the piece of wood or the chair that you're sitting on, from in terms of physical makeup. So the aham means that I am this wonderful, special person. I and you are one. So this is what aham means. So let us say now you are sitting down next to your brother, your sister. You're sitting down next to your wife or your husband. You're sitting down next to your grandchildren. The mantra, or the totality of our Vedic way of thinking, is that you and you and you are all the same. The commonality that we have between us is that you are indeed divine. Your friend next to you is divine. Your neighbor across the road who parks in your driveway every day and locks you in is also divine. So the happiness really starts in when we can see divinity in all. And it's such an easy concept. You will say, well, God, how come I did not come across this word or this concept of aham? If we understand the concept of aham, then all of the long prayers fades into insignificance. The joy of this word aham can be chanted. It's made of two vowels. One is a and one is hum. Let's do that again. Yeah. So it's a and hum. A is the same sound that you get from Om. So let us just chant the A, really nice from the soft breath, really straight from the navel cord, and with a nice upwards chanting. It should be, I shouldn't say upwards chanting, because the A is to be chanted while gently inhaling at the same time. So there are two energies, A and hum. So let us start with A. Let us start. Ah. Ah. Once more. Ah. Let's do hum. 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 You will note that the vibrations created by is very soft and is very cooling, is very calming to the body. Whereas the chanting of the mantra hum dries out, it exhales, and it removes all of the negativities within us. So the purpose of this mantra when we chant it is to bring all of the goodness that we can get from the outside, and the hum is to reject anything that is not good that and is within us. So this is the purpose of the pranayama. So as we do our breathing or our pranayama, each one is a mantra. So let us just do a hum together. Let's start with Om. Om. Aham. 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 This word aham, is the ultimate what we call mantra. If we continue this chanting, you will be amazed how it protects your body physically, but also you find that you can start to focus a lot more. You know, when you sit down and the thoughts coming from all way, oh, let's check the message on the smartphone, let us go into the kitchen and have a cup of tea. You will do everything except that which you're supposed to focus on. The difference with this mantra, aham, it attunes you with yourself. And that which is you, remember, which is your Atma, does not need anything material. Suddenly, all of the material hankerings of this world that causes a lot of unhappiness, this mantra helps to drive out. It will not drive it out immediately, but what it does, drop by drop, it makes you into the perfect being. So, what I'm saying, the sound of aham is actually what we call akara. And then from akara, there is another digression of ahamkara, which means is that ahamkara is you, but not in the person that you really want to be, but your ego starts to take control of you. So what we want as you do aham, you remain this perfect person and do not make yourself be a victim of the power of somebody else. So there is something I had on the second page that I'm going to bring up now, which is the whole idea of how to get benefit from any mantra. So all of you has been chanting mantras all the days of your life. You might have done tens and tens of thousands of mantras, but somehow you're not feeling that you are getting the power of the mantra. You're not getting what we call this joy that comes from having a peaceful mind. So we go to the next page, and as we start again, a beautiful picture of morning mantras. And you can see morning mantras will transform your day. So it's so wonderful to have this said to you that, you know, pray at the beginning of the day. But if you just utter the words, then your day will not change from yesterday. So in order to get the benefit of the word, we have to go to the first line. One moment, and I will try and see if I can change the color to red. One moment, and I can make it a bit bigger. So in order to get to grips with what we want to do, we need to add what we call energy, or we need to add power to the words that we are saying or to the mantra that we want to chant. So I've written, adding Shakti or power to your day, for a mantra to be effective, it must be energized or electrified, as it were. And so how do we do this? You can only add energy to something that you love. If you think of it very carefully, let us say that your mother's name is Shanti, so let's just stick to the word Shanti because Shanti is a good name. It means peace. It means balance. But when you're talking about your mom, Shanti, not any Shanti, not the Shanti you know, but when you're talking about Ma Shanti, there is so much love and affection to your word, right? That you feel elevated just by mentioning her name. That is why, in many cases, our parents used to give our daughters and our sons the names of gods. So when they were calling for Rama, it's not like any Ram, but because you love Ram. You love this Ram so that your words Ram has electric energy. As opposed, let us say you know another Ram, but you cannot put any energy in the word into that person's name because you do not love that person. So you may say, "Hey, Ram Bhai," but there is no emotions to your word. And that is why, let us say, we do a simple mantra. And we want to have this mantra have effect. So how are we going to chant, let us say, the simple mantra of Tvameva Mata? Now, all of us with class one, Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhu Jasaka Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Dravinang Tvameva, Tvameva Sarvang Mama Deva Deva, is chanted in such a way that people may think we are late for the train or we are late for the plane. No emotions and no love. So how can we, sort of expect to get the maximum benefit from the mantra? But let us say now you want to chant this mantra so it becomes sweet, so it becomes energized. As a way of comment, one of my greatest music influence was from a wonderful teacher called Shankar Ganguly. And when Shankarji first started to teach, the first thing he would teach is to say, it's not what you say or what you sing, but it's how you sing it. It's the emotions that you put in the words. So let us chant Tvameva Mata as though you're really loving the supreme energy that has been so benevolent to us, that has given us life, has given us oxygen, has given us the air that we breathe, the water that we drink. But most important, that this mother has given us the Dharti Mata, or the soil that we are walking on. So let us chant Tvameva Mata as though we really mean what we are saying. Now, if you were to chant this in a temple and the people, "Oh, Pandit, like you haven't eaten today, or why are you dragging?" So let us do it how it should be done. I will start. Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Yasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. One more time. Om Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhus Yasaka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. And in placing energy on every word of this mantra, My soul, not my mouth, and your soul, and your soul, and your soul, all of you joining this satsang today, is saying very, very nicely, O Supreme Lord, O Divine Energy, O Benevolent Deva, you are the one who has cared for me as though you are my mother. You have given me companionship and friendship as though you are my brother and my friend. So, what we have done, we have placed energy into this mantra and has brought it down to our human level where we can relate to the supreme benevolent energy as being one who is close to us. And it's beautiful. So, look, there must be what we call prana in it, along with the power of deep feeling. Let me make this bigger so you can see on your screen. One moment, please. Yeah, okay. There must be what we call life energy, which means there must be love in the words of the mantra, along with the power of deeper feeling and concentration of mind and heart. Repeating such a mantra can be compared with the effect of saying the name of one's beloved, as opposed to saying the name of a person that one does not know. And this is the beauty of having sometimes a personal God, that we can see Bhagwan Sri Ram or Bhagwan Sri Krishna as a person, but also we can see the divinity in his what we call Nirupa form, without form as a divine form, that we can love the creator of this world, whose form we cannot see except in his creation, but also when we bring down the creation to Bhagwan Shankar, we can relate to him as being Parvati Patiye, as being the Bhavani Shankar, as being this beautiful energy. So we can then have a lot of love that we place in the source of the energy. But as we progress in life, we will learn to chant this mantra and have faith in the words that we will chant. So let us now go to the first morning mantra. We did this last week. So we'll just go through this beautiful mantra. One moment. We will go through this beautiful mantra 2 more times, and just to explain to you, this mantra, as you will see, has the word kara. 1 second, if I can separate. Yeah. Through all of the words. So you see, kara agre, kara madhye, kara mule, kara darshanam. So kara means hands, the whole hands. This is called kara. Yeah. Agre means the tip. The tip of anything is the agre. And of course, the madhye, we said last week, this word madhye, anytime you hear the word madhye, it has to do with middle. So, it's in the harmonium, especially, the middle notes are called what they call the madhyam saptak. So madhye means middle, and mule, like mool mantra, is the root mantra, or mool, which means fruits or roots that we eat from the ground. So whenever we hear the word mool, it's root, madhye means middle, and agre means tip. So this mantra is the first mantra you recite in the morning. You set your stall out, you're still in your bed. This is the whole idea. You've woken up, but you're conscious, and you said, "Oh Lord, as I wake up this day and I open my hands, I see the goddess of good fortune at the tip of my fingers. I see that wonderful goddess of knowledge to bless me and to inspire me. So in this day, I will make good judgment." And at the feet, or at the root of my hands, which is the root, as we said, the mule, we have what we call the power of Govinda, or the power of the Creator. And Prabhate Karadarshanam, as Prabhate, as this morning starts, I have the vision of success. I have the vision of knowledge, and I have the vision of prosperity for the day ahead. It's the best what we call um, mantra, or is the best what we call in English language affirmation. You know, all of us are being told to say affirmations. Well, our rishis were masters of affirmation because they want you to affirm that you will really, really be the recipient of good fortune. You will be study your scriptures and you will gain knowledge. And most important, whatever you learn, whatever you earn, will be preserved and maintained by Sri Krishna. All of this you contact with your innate divinity at the beginning of the day. And this is what you use to contact it. One moment. You use your aham. You use your what we call your own soul to be attuned with what we call the multi-soul or the total soul of the universe, who has an abundant supply of wealth, knowledge, health, and prosperity. So let us do mantra. First mantra, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. Om. Chant with me. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. Karamadye Saraswati. Karamule tu Govinda. Prabhate Karadarshanam. And remember that when we are chanting again, we want to attune to the divinity. So we want that each word must have love, and each word must be electric, must be energized, and be full of divine vibrations. So let us chant this word again. When we chant the word Lakshmi, we actually, bow down to the feet with love of Lakshmi Mata, Mata Saraswati, because we need her to bless us with knowledge, and Govinda to be maintained our wealth. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karamadye Saraswati, Karmule tu Govinda, Prabhate Karadarshanam. Om Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karmadye Saraswati, Karmule tu Govinda, Prabhate Karadarshanam. I focus on my fingers and I visualize the abundant blessings of God, of Mata Saraswati, who dwells. I focus on the center of my palms, Karamadye, and I visualize the abundant blessings of Mata Saraswati, who dwells there. At the base of my hand, I visualize the infinite blessings of Bhagwan Vishnu, who dwells there. And so I focus within my hands every morning and I seek divine manifestations. And devotees, Prabhate Karadarshanam. It's very powerful in all stages of your life, especially where you feel you're being threatened, where you feel that you're surrounded by what we call ahamkaris, or people whose ego is a mixture of brawn. They have brute force, and sometimes they use that to overcome what we call weaker. But they can't overcome you when you attach yourself to the infinite power. So, Prabhati Karadarshanam, who can stop me today? Today, I'm going to be infinitely successful. Today, my work and my business is going to be prosperous. Today, I will be honest and I will be able to give the right advice because of the blessings of Mata Saraswati and from Govinda. Today, all the work that I will do will be richly rewarded, both emotionally, spiritually, and financially. So, devotees, let us go through this mantra and then we move on to the next mantra. Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karamadye Saraswati, Karmule tu Govinda, Prabhate Karadarshanam, Prabhate Karadarshanam, Prabhate Karadarshanam. So you be determined, and you know, because your word is your gospel. If we know the power of the word, actually, you can move a mountain, or like Hanumanji, you can lift a mountain. So we go to this next mantra again, which follows from the first mantra. Going deeper now, let us say if you're just a student or you're a graduate and you want to get knowledge, you focus on the middle energy of your palms where Mata Saraswati resides. And with energy again, and with love and devotion, we offer these prayers to her. Many of us may not be able to chant the Sanskrit mantras, but that doesn't matter, as Swami Vivekananda ji said. Wait me one moment. One moment. As Swami Vivekananda ji said, any language, God's here, providing that it is spoken from the heart or from the soul, because God only understands the language of the Atma. God don't understand or does not matter whether you want to speak in Spanish, French, Hindi, German, you just name it. God will listen to whatever language is your native language, and once that language is transformed into emotions, that is where Bhagwan comes in. So let us chant mantra. We will do it very slowly. Om Saraswati Namastobhyam. I highlight this in red. One moment. Saraswati Namastobhyam Varde Kamarupini. Let's go through again. Saraswati Namastobhyam Varde Kamarupini. So we do it 2 words at a time. Saraswati Namastobhyam Varde Kamarupini. Again, your turn. Saraswati Namastobhyam Varde Kamarupini. The third line, let's highlight it in a different shade. One second, that does not work because it hides the Vidyarambam Karishyami. One second, let me get rid of that shade. Okay. One moment, please. Okay. Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. The 4th line. Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. So let's go, the whole mantra. We'll do each word twice. Om Saraswati Saraswati Namastobhyam Namastobhyam. The word is bhyam, B-H-Y-A-M. Let's get Saraswati Namastobhyam. Second line. Varade Varade Kama Kama Rupini Rupini Vidya Vidya Vidyarambham Karishyami Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varde Kamarupini Vidyarambam karishyami siddhir bhavatu me sada. Om Shri Saraswatye Namaha. So, devotees, these mantras, as I said, are not meant to be chanted like one after the other. But you need to have what we call the repertoire of mantra. So you can choose the mantra that you feel you can identify with. Because we can't learn all of the thousands of mantra. But let us say, if you want to become eloquent, if you want to, what we call, release all of the blockages that prevents you from learning, if you want to learn dance, music, an instrument, then what we call, we energize that part of the nervous system and the brains that this mantra, what we call, work at the molecular level to make you find it very easy to learn. So let us chant the mantra before we go to the next mantra. Chant with me. Om. We'll put an Om in front of the Saraswati. Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varde Kama Rupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Devotees, this word Karish, it's a double A, and it's very important that we say yummy. It's musical. We can't say yummy because then it changes the meaning completely to the opposite of what you want to achieve. So we go again. Om Saraswati Namastubhyam Varde Kama Rupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Salutations to Mata Saraswati, the giver of boons and the fulfiller of desires. Bless me, so that I begin my studies successfully. May there be accomplishments. Let us, if you can just read it aloud for me. One moment. Let me make it bigger. 1 second. So devotees, let us focus on the second line. And this is critical. You may want to say, well, why should we focus on the fulfiller of desires? Because if you do not define your desires, how would you achieve your desires? Whether you call it a to-do list, whether you call it a list of goals, whether you call it a resolution, sorry, you must be able to say, let's say, okay, these are my desires. And what would be useful over the next 6 days is that each day, you just write down one desire of yours that you think will make you happy and the person next to you happy. You know, give it a go. Initially, you will want to write, okay, my desire maybe is to have a big house, and my desire is to be whatever financially, or my desire is to be whatever. But those are aims. They're not your real desire. So what we need to do, if you can, to break it down in very, very small 5 words or 6 words aims in life, that if you want Mata Saraswati to fulfill your desire, which desire, what desire, what amount, what degree, is it an A star or an A plus, or you want her to bless you with eloquence, so that your speech become recognized, or you want her to bless you with a good family, because she's the fulfiller of boons, she's the giver of boons. Here she's the giver of boons. So if she's going to give you the boon, you have to know what boon you want. So you have to be very specific. So you will say, okay, I want you to bless me with food, Mata Saraswati. Lo and behold, two things can happen to you. You can be blessed with what we call a whole banquet being spread out in front of you. And as the story goes, so there's a hunter. He's in the forest and he's really hungry. He's sitting under a tree and he's so hungry. And he said, I wish if I can get some food. At the moment he said that, a whole banquet appeared in front of him of all of the things that you can think about. Then he said, wow, I really need some nice drinks, to quench my thirst now. Lo and behold, a nice selection of juices and drinks and beverages came. He said, wow. He says, well, look, I need a nice bed to rest on. So his desire is increasing. So he gets a bed. And then he said, but I don't want a bed here. I want a bed to be, in a nice house. So he gets a nice house and he gets a nice bed and he has a nice food and he has a nice drink. So now the problem arises now. He desires A and B. So his next desire, God, He said, what about, if somebody becomes jealous of me and they kill me? Of course, he mentioned the word, and lo and behold, someone came to his door and shot him. So, not knowing, he was residing under what we call the Kalpa Vriksha, the tree of life. All of us are permanently sitting under this tree of life. And it's very important that we stay at desires that would give us happiness and longevity. The moment we start to degrade and to debase ourselves by saying unkind words about someone else, or to have unkind thoughts about someone else, the Kalpa Vriksha takes place. So like this man, he wished for food, he got it. He wished for drinks, he got it. Then he said, my God, I've got all of this now. The true story is, or the real original version of the story is, under the tree, he says, well, he said, I've got all of this now. What about if the wolves were to come and eat me? And in the forest, the wolves pounced on him. So the wolves is our emotions. The wolf is our thoughts that creates all forms of diseases and blemishes within our body. So use our desires very calmly and carefully, that our prayers, which is essentially our desires in words, would only bring benevolence to each and every one of you. And remember, you don't have to pray in Sanskrit or any other language for God to fulfill your desires. It is the purity of your thought that is your divinity that will bring you your happiness. Devotees, we now go, we have just finished being blessed by Mata Saraswati. And now the third mantra to greet your morning is the one that ensures that there is no obstacles to your learning. There is no obstacles to the creation of your wealth. There is no obstacles on your journey to work. There's no obstacles at any part in the day. So right at the beginning of the day, with love, we engage the benevolence of the energy of protection called Ganesha. So Ganesha, you can look at him as the elephant god with his beautiful trunk on left or right. Or you can look at it on this way, that Ganesha is Tattvam Asi. This is the exact definition of Ganesh Bhagwan. Om Shri Ganeshaye Namaha. Om Bhadram Karnebi Shunayama Bhadram Pashyem Akshavirya Jataha Sairangaye Tushtuvagum Shashtanovi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayahu. Om Shri Ganeshaye Nama Aham Brahmasi, which means is that Ganesh Bhagwan is telling us that we are part of him, and because we are part of him, we are endowed with all of the powers to protect ourselves and to avoid problems. So let us chant this mantra at the beginning of the day. One moment. One second. Let's make it bigger. Om. Once Deva Sarvakaya. 4 lines again. We will do them 2 words at a time. Vakratunda Mahakaya. Vakratunda Mahakaya. Vakratunda Mahakaya. Or when I'm practicing, I will do each word twice. Vakratunda, Vakratunda, Vakratunda Mahakaya. Mahakaya, 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 Mahakaya. Next line. Surya Koti, Surya Koti, Surya Koti, Sama Prabha is Sama Prabha. There is an emphasis. One moment. Om, let's do both lines. Vakratunda Mahakaya, Surya Koti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurume Deva, Sarvakaye Shu Sarvada. Devotees, there is a special procedure to get the benefit of any mantra. Now, I'm assuming that these comments are directed to the devotees who have an altar in their home. So before you do the mantra, you offer, let us say, some water to Bhagwan. You offer some flowers to Bhagwan. You offer some chandan if you have, with some kumkum. You offer a little bit of agarbatti, and you offer a deepam, and then you offer some naived and whatever prasadam. Now, after you've offered these to your Bhagwan with love, so much love you have, then you praise him. No? You don't praise him first, but you offer him and you give thanks to him, and then you repeat this mantra. And this mantra you should chant very nicely with love and devotion. So let us chant it. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaye Shu Sarvada Vakratunda Mahakaya. One more time. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaye Shu Sarvada. So devotees, let us say, if you were to chant it, and you have to chant it now with love and devotion, and you will place energy or Shakti in this mantra to Ganesh, how would you chant it? This is how I would chant it, but you have to chant it in a way that is identified to your own being. Let us chant. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaye Shu Sarvada Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakayeshu Sarvada. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Bhagwan Ganesh, the one with the curved tongue. Vakra means curved or bent trunk or twisted trunk. And the one with a majestic, huge body, Mahakaya. Maha means big and Kaya means his body. So your body is called Kaya. Surya Koti. Surya, we know the word refers to Surya Bhagwan or the sun. Koti means a million or a lot, a lot. So this Ganesh Bhagwan is more resplendent than a million suns. And Sama Prabha, the one who is so beautiful and so shining and so resplendent. Nirviganam, the third line, the one who is Vigna, Nir, to remove all forms of obstacles from me, O Deva, and Sarva Karyeshu Sarvada. Bless me at the beginning of the day. O Ganesh Bhagwan. So you're saying, as I start this day, may I be energized with the divine energy that gives me strength, health, and wealth. So it leads from this mantra, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, Karmadye Saraswati, Karmule tu Govinda Prabhate Karadarshanam. So at the beginning of this day, O Lord, may you bless me with health, wealth, peace, and prosperity. And I know for me to be blessed with health, wealth, peace, and prosperity, there cannot be any problems in my life. Oh Lord, I thank you very much for your blessings in these areas of my life. And remember, we went down here and we said, look, if you want to have a fulfilling life when you're 80, 90, and you lie down on your bed and you know your breath or your last breath to your next life is coming close, you must be able to say as well, look, on the 8th, today is what day? The 25th of March, 2022, I started on my journey of identifying my desires. And what you want is that when your life or your journey in this earth is finished, the tabulation of your desires must have been written in stone, and you must have been able to execute at least 50% of them. All of us, as I said, would have desires. And, it's like in the words of a famous stuti, Itna to karna swami, जब प्राण तन से निकले, गोविंद नाम लेकर, जब प्राण तन से निकले. So these desires which we have, and this is, I'm just sort of pointing you in this right direction, that one of the desire which we can put on your list of 10 desires or 7 desires, I must daily and minutely and secondly live in the consciousness of gratitude to the Supreme Lord who has blessed me. And if you live in that, you will be amazed what the Lord will do for you. Not so much what you can do for him, because there's nothing you can do for him, but he can do everything for you because he's the one with the power, the vision, and the resources. So devotees, all of us know Gayatri Mantra. So we have moved on from the hands to energizing the brains, to protecting the body by Ganesh Bhagwan. And now this mantra is to further what we call energize you and make you what we call Varanium. This word I really want to emphasize on this word. It's in the Gayatri Mantra. And if you become what we call resplendent, one moment, let me get a bigger. Yeah. If you become Varanium, which means is that you undoubtedly, will shine among mortals. And this is our goal in life. We want that one of our desires, and it must be a secret desire, but not only secret, it must be a sacred desire. No one must know your divine goals. Do not tell it to anyone. It's not for anyone to consume, but it's for you to be happy about your own divinity that is being opened up to you. The darkness and the clouds are being removed. The dust is being cleared away. Tora man darpan kehlaye. Oh Lord, remove all the dust that covers, the brightness of the mirror of my heart. So this beautiful mantra, let's chant it. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swa Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. And let's do it as a mantra. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, you cannot sleep. Not that, you're perturbed about anything. So rather than not sleeping, not using that time divinely, you go in what we call the Gayatri Mantra. It just happens that when your eyes wakes you up at 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning, that is Gayatri Mantra time. So it's no wonder when you reach a certain age in life, you can't sleep at that time. Make full use of it and start on your Gayatri Mantra. Do it 108 times, and I tell you how easy it is. On the 4 fingers of your hands, there are 12 joints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is how you guide yourself as you start to chant. I'm not going to tell you which direction to go into, but you chant them in 12s. So when you do it 12 here, that's 24. So if you do it 4 times, that's 96. And then the 108, you just do it 1 set of 12. So if you just do in a few minutes, just the first 12, and let us chant it as we start now. Om, and we will only do Om after the first Om Bhur Bhuva Swa. From the next Gayatri Mantra, we'll do Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Let us start, devotees. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dio yo nah prachodayat. Om tat savitur varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi. Dio yo nah prachodayat. Om tat savitur varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi. Dio yo nah prachodayat. Devotees, we have done 6. You can continue other 6 after we close, but it's now getting on to 9. I would like, with the permission of yourselves and Jagadambe Mata, to stop sharing the screen and we can welcome each other.